We are back. Hashtag curries are coming, so please tell your friends, tell your families. We are parental educators by history, by resume, and so we want to bring it to you. And last episode we talked about the sweet spot. And so this episode we want to talk about the five, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 love languages. Remember the guy from Sesame Street?
The count.
The count, right?
So
5.
So let me say this. We are parent educators by career choice, right? But we are newly married, almost 3 years, and we just feel that there is something that we could share with the world about how we're learning and loving together.
Yeah.
And so we started this, if you didn't know, we started this YouTube channel because we felt that God was just giving us and teaching us some lessons and some new ways
some gems,
to love each other and just to succeed in our marriage. And we want to share that with the world.
Yeah.
And so,
And we think it's important for you guys to make sure that you stay together and that you help others stay together, and that we make sure that coupling and being together and partnering is the standard. It sets a standard for families, sets a standards for communities, sets a standards for neighborhoods, makes neighborhoods better, for cities and our towns. And so we it's better to be married, it's better to stay together. And so we wish to have that in more of our communities as well. So we want to spread that love. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to present each love language, and we're going to talk about our own personal experiences with them, I guess.
Yeah, can I just give a little preface to love languages?
Absolutely.
Because I actually talk a lot about love languages when I do my parenting classes. And I feel like it's good to know about what love languages are, what your language is, what your spouse's language is, what your children's languages are. Because when your tank is empty or half filled, you got to know how to fill it back up. And so if I know what my love language is, I can teach my husband how to fill me back up. If I know what my children's love languages is, imagine how you can encourage and increase their self-esteem and self-worth when you can feed the language that they need, right? Fill their cup back up. If they're maybe having a tantrum, falling out, they're not in good space, they're angry, miserable. If you know what their love language is, you can absolutely turn that whole situation around and turn them around where they're in a better space and they're feeling confident and good about themselves. And so I just think love languages, if the whole entire world knew how to feed each other's or fill each other's love tank, imagine the condition the world would be in.
Yeah, and it's real simple math, right? So, but we make because of systems and society, routine, scheduling, we make it difficult. So everyone does have 5 love languages, and we can attribute them to somewhat of a humanistic experience, right? On what makes people tick to some extent. All right, if we wanted to keep it simple, but we're going to talk about it like this. We're going to present each one. We want you guys to know what they are. You guys heard about, you guys heard talk about the 5 love languages, 5 languages. You've heard it in movies and so forth and so forth. Well, here they are. Let's spill the beans. The first one, acts of service. Acts of service. What's that definition, honey?
Acts of service would be the kind of things that you may need, you like to see done that make you feel good. Maybe an act of service like, I don't like dealing with my car. So maybe if my husband took my car and filled the tank up, or maybe he went and got my tire changed because it was low, that would be an act of service, right? He's helping me with something. And if that was my love language, that would make me feel good. I would feel like I'm being loved. I would feel like he cares about me if he's, feeding that love language.
So acts of service. So something that you can put physical energy towards to make the other person feel acknowledged, feel genuinely happy
and heard.
Right? And
heard or seen, right? Yeah.
So acts of service. Once again, it could be anything from taking out the trash to cooking a dinner to inviting for a walk on the beach, making a gift, writing a poem for someone, right? So these are acts of service. The next one is receiving gifts. There you go. Right?
That's pretty self-explanatory,
Right,
right?
but talk about a simple definition for folks receiving gifts, because you don't have to be, financially well-to-do for this, right?
You
Receiving
don't have
gifts.
to have a whole lot of money,
You
right?
don't have to have a whole lot of cash.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about, what's that definition? Receiving gifts.
Yeah, I
What
would
does that
say
mean?
receiving gifts is just exactly what it says. It could just be something small. It could be receiving a gift, could be a note, in your lunch bag, right? Or
A flower.
It could be a flower, right? It could be somebody drew up. Lawan used to draw pictures. He would literally, while he was at work, working nights, draw pictures and then give them to me the next day, or take a picture of it and send it to me, right? So you're giving something to someone. Some people like to receive things. It could be, it could be anything. You have to know yourself, and you have to know the things that you like. But your love language could be that you like to receive gifts. And if that's what it is, let me also preface all this by saying, once you find out what your love language is, and you can take a test. You can go right online, type in Google love languages, and there's a love language test that you could take, and you can find out what your language is. And then you know who you are, so that you could help other people know who you are. But receiving gifts is just that. You want to receive something. You want to get something from someone. And you don't have to spend money to do it, but you can be creative. That's another thing. Just be thinking outside the box and be creative in giving someone something.
We talked previously about you being that gift for your spouse, right? So you could not, you could wrap yourself up, put a little bow, lay on the bed. That's a different situation. But yeah, you could literally be the gift. But you are you are the gift to your spouse.
Oh
So
my God.
you don't necessarily have to purchase something. Once again, that you just want to make sure that
but buying something is nice
no,
too.
buying something is very
Don't
nice.
get it
We all
twisted.
of that. I mean, it could be
Buying
from,
something
it could
is
be from
very
the
nice
Dollar
too.
Tree.
Right.
Me likey, right? So that's cool. The next one is quality time. So quality time. How would you define that? As my puppy gets. Hold on.
Quality time. He has to get the dog's ball under the couch. Quality time is again, some of these are very self-explanatory, is being present with someone. That quality time. When I think of quality time, I think of no phones allowed. I think of removing distractions. I think of eye contact, of really showing somebody that you're listening to them, that you're paying attention to them.
Yeah.
Being intentional about being in space together.
Yeah.
I don't look at quality time as one, being apart, different rooms, far away from each other.
Yeah.
I feel quality time should be you being in each other's presence,
Yeah.
being in each other's face.
Even if you're in a big house, be in the same room. So the world is systematically trying to pull people apart. And if you can't manage in this busy world to even spend a couple of hours out of the week, even with your spouse, just one-on-one quality time, whether it be not even any talking, if that's the situation, but talking is great. We always love to prattle. That's important. To converse, to be that soapbox, to be the unopinionated, listening board for your spouse is very important. So that quality time, once again, if you can find it, try to be consistent with it. Try to have some sort of routine with it. I think we were doing Saturday mornings, if possible. 2 people, very busy lives, and so that has been working, and we want to continue that. If that falls off, then what's another area in which we can, whether it be just, even walking the dog. We mentioned a dog, doing that together, or going out and having a drink and a nice dinner or something, or just some appetizers, right? Or being able to
or laying in the bed watching TV together.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
So
you're together. We're in the same room. Quality time. Being close to one another. It could be something just as simple as that, but you gotta be intentional about it. Make sure it happens.
because back in the day, you got my mind thinking. They used to have dinner time,
Yeah.
right? And they don't anymore,
Yeah.
right? People are doing whatever they want, whenever they want, however they want it, based on whatever is going on. So try to build that in.
Yeah, because that's family. Family has
supposed to be
love
family.
languages too.
Yeah,
I will tell you that.
you be able to have to put the phone down time.
Me personally, I made everyone in my family, my mom, my dad, my daughter, my son, at one point sit down and do that quiz, that love language quiz.
Yeah.
So that we could all know each other's love language.
Yep.
So that we can bond even closer together as a
Yep.
family.
And you verbally spoke it out to each other, like, "Hey, this is what I like."
Yeah.
All right, so which brings us to our next one, which is great. Words of affirmation. All right, so wow, let me throw that at you for the definition. sweetheart. What are words of affirmation?
Well, we all hear about some of us probably even speak affirmations to ourselves.
You're so incredible.
On a daily basis. You get up, you start your day, and you might look in the mirror, women, and say, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am capable,
Yep.
I am intelligent.
Yep.
Those are words of affirmation that you give yourself, right? And if that's something that really makes you feel good, I wonder if maybe words of affirmation may be a love language.
Yeah.
Right? And so that means you want to hear things good about yourself, but you want somebody to tell you. You want somebody to be able to be keen enough and connected to you enough to be able to say these things to you that are going to build up your self-esteem.
Yep.
Build up your self-worth. Make you feel good about yourself.
And even from a parenting, educational standpoint, the parent-child relationship, we speak about praise a lot. And it's so important in a child's life and their development, right? Why wouldn't it be for our own personal? Why should we stop it?
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So let's continue to give ourselves that praise, give our spouse, our partner, that praise, right? Those positive words of affirmation. If it is their love language, indeed, right? If you so do enjoy it, and sometimes it's just habitual for folks, that's fine. But don't expect, once again, to hit that sweet spot if that's not your person's love language. So it's important. So once again, that because some folks will say, you can say all you want. You need to do something for me.
Right.
So words of affirmation don't work for some folks. So the next one, very, 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 very important. It's interesting that this one's last. When we talked about, once again, the humanistic experience, right? This one is called physical touch.
Yeah.
And even I know for the simple fact that, children, if they're not touched when they're born, they can die. So talk to me about what your definition in terms of oh, and I just did it.
He did. He just touched
What
my
physical touch means.
I would look at physical touch as a love language. Is just that my husband, when he was talking to me, he put his hand on my knee. It could be just hand on shoulder. It could be, playing in their hair, or rubbing their back, touching their face, or
graze against his body.
Yeah, right. So it's funny because
a nudge.
There's a lot of on social media, you'll see a lot of different like TikToks and Instagrams around like women who their physical touch with their husband is like he'll come and hit her on her butt, right? So when he comes into the kitchen, he comes into the room, first thing he's doing is just kind of patting her on her butt. And when he doesn't do it, you get she gets upset, like, what's going on? What's happening here? Why you ain't hit me? You ain't touched me. But that has become their love language.
Yeah.
When he walks in the room, that's how he acknowledges. That's how he shows her he's thinking about her. That's how he maybe makes her feel like she's pretty, or enticing to him. Right? She looks good to him. But physical touch is very important for some people because they want that touch. They want to be in that physical, have that physical space with their partner. But I think on the flip side of that, we also need to be very mindful that some people don't like touch at all. right?
Yep.
Because some people don't have
Yep.
very good.
They don't have a good touch
have,
history.
Yeah, they have very negative touch history, and so being mindful of that. I think as we talked about all 5 of them, it is important to know your partner's love language so you can know how to love them, like literally, right? Words are good, but if you're not an affirmation person and you're an acts of service, those words are going to mean nothing to you. You want to see it done.
Like, I'm an acts of service person, right? My husband, my wife can say things here and there, and you know, this is great, and I love you. And yeah, I love all that. But remember when we talked about having that sweet spot when she comes and we cook like a Thanksgiving dinner together? She's making the sides and I'm making some. Oh man, I'm in heaven, loving it. That's my love language for real. Receiving gifts. I think everyone, well, most people do. Some people may think it's kind of meaningless or frivolous or what have you, and that's fine. But receiving gifts, and I like the inexpensive ones, the creative ones that you put time, it showed you put time into it. And I'm just going over the love language in terms of my own. And I thought I would be actually more on the physical touch side. I know that my wife definitely enjoys that, so we try to incorporate that in our love language as much as we can, and I think we do a pretty good at that in terms of when we enter or get ready to leave a building, we make sure we kiss, right? Something simple. That's physical touch, and it speaks to both of us. But I think that is one of the love languages that you hold dear.
Yeah, I don't know if
you can speak to one or the other 2 of them.
I don't know if I know anyone that has all 5. You know, don't expect to have all 5 of them, but you definitely can have more than one, right? Because you're human and there's different facets of you, right? Physical touch definitely is a love language for me. I like touch my arm when you walk by, rub my back, you know, massage my feet. You know, I love touch. I do love touch. Quality time is another one for me. We have to work hard sometimes at making sure we spend quality time because our lives are busy, but we also are very comfortable in our own company, right? So I could stay in the bedroom all day and be on my computer or watching TV and just be by myself, and I'm very comfortable there. So I have to make sure that even though I like my own company, I do like spending time with him. I want to watch TV, or I want to go out to, let's go to the store. And he's getting better at that, right? He'll just be like, I'm going to the store. All right, I'll go with you, right? I like that. I like being together with him. And so just knowing which one are yours, looking at them, I encourage you to go look for the quiz so you can take the quiz.
Yes, definitely.
They have it online and it is free and it's kind of fun.
Yep.
It takes some time because they're going to ask you a lot of questions, but it's worth it to know how to fill your love tank. It's worth it to know how to teach your spouse how to love you in a way that's going to work. You know, you cannot love somebody the way according to your definition of love.
Right. That's not good.
You just can't, because my definition of love and his definition of love when we first met was probably very different, right? And that comes from just your life experiences and what you've gone through on your own.
I would think, for example, that cooking dinner for her would be awesome. It would be enough when she came home, but she may just want a hug, right? And I cooked this big elaborate dinner, done wasted my time. All I had to do was give her a hug and hold her.
I might not even have been
little
hungry.
things like that, right? She might not have been hungry. So this is because I'm trying to speak my love language through her. That's what
right. He's trying to he's making his love language be mine.
Can't do that.
Thinking, oh, she's probably gonna love it too.
That don't work.
No, because we're individual people and we have our own likes, dislikes, and experiences, and so your love language is going to come out of your experiences. It's going to come out of how you've grown and what you've been a part of, and your culture and how you grew up. It comes out of all of that.
Absolutely.
And so we really believe that knowing what your love language is important for your interactions with each other.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's going to make or break your marriage. It's important for the interactions that you have with each other.
And so we wanted to stir the pot, if you will, and give you our contemporary version and understanding, and explanation of what the 5 love languages are. Hashtag Curry's a coming style. So we want you guys, for your home activity, for your homework, is to go look up and do that test with each other. It'll be fun. What are your 5 love languages?
Right. What are the 5 love? Because you don't have 5 of them.
Yeah.
But find out what what your love language is by taking the quiz.
And with that, we outie.
Yeah, we're out. So the Currys are coming. We're coming for your marriage. We're coming for your parenting. We're coming for your relationships. And we're coming for your soul care.
Your soul care.